Here's a series that I've really wanted to do for quite a while, where I talk about my personal top 10, and only discuss one at a time so that they have the space that I feel that each one deserves. There will definitely be spoilers for these books because I want to talk about them somewhat in depth, and take this series as my highest recommendations. Books in this series had some sort of massive effect on me, whether that be philosophical, or maybe the story just got me at the exact right moment in my life. At the bottom of my list, and starting off rather strong I think, is Replay by Ken Grimwood. So this is me petitioning you to pause this video, go read Ken Grimwood's absolute masterpiece Replay, and come back to me. Think Groundhog's Day, or Edge of Tomorrow, but over multiple lifetimes. Replay starts off just like any other time travel novel that you could possibly think of, where the main character goes back in time and starts placing bets on things that he knows that they'll win, so that he gets rich. And he lives an entire lifetime like this, and at the end of that lifetime, the cycle resets, and he feels as hollow as he did the first time he died. I feel this novel dives really deeply into the futility of just being. Because Jeff Winston, despite going through so many lives, for a big portion of this book, he is still left feeling so empty and hollow. There are so many small story beats that just work so well. For example, he makes a quick call in to narc on Lee Harvey Oswald for the assassination of JFK before it happens, a classic one that a lot of people think of when they want to go back in time. And after he does that, a different man is arrested for the assassination of JFK. And our protagonist, Jeff, understands that this is from forces greater than him. He postulates as to whether this is the universe course correcting, or the conspiracy theories were right about CIA involvement. And that's as far as that plot detail goes. One of the most vivid details in this book for me was when he comes across the movie Starsea. Oh man, what I would give to watch this movie in real life. The absolute stellar description of this movie, as well as its comparisons to things like Jaws and Star Wars, really make it so compelling, and I really wish that this was a real movie, man. Pisses me off so much that this is not a real movie. I think that Ken Grimwood spent a lot of time writing this very small scene describing this movie. Absolutely brilliant. When he watches it, he's absolutely blown away with how far ahead of its time this movie is. And he figures that the only way that somebody could have shot a film like this is that they came from the future and know what's going to happen with cinema. And he was right. Because this is how he meets Pamela Phillips, a fellow replayer. She has a story not too dissimilar from him. And I only bring up this character because she is the center of the romance in this book. And the romance in this book is so unique, and probably my favorite romance in any book. Because we really get it all, but it's over multiple lifetimes. We get the breakup, which lasts over a lifetime. We get the ignoring each other stage, which lasts over a lifetime. And there's a really unique mechanic that I don't want to spoil here that is extremely unique even for any time travel novel or time travel story in general. But it brings on this great story beat that tackles the idea of consent. Even though I love this book to death, it's still not without its faults. For example, even though I absolutely love the ending and the ambiguity, there are still some things that should have been solved, or a few details that I believe should have been added. For example, over these multiple lifetimes, the pair only ever find one other person who is confirmed to be a replayer just like them. There's nothing wrong with having additional replayers. I just think that having only one may have been a little bit of a miss for me. And the way that they were setting up this one character and the time that they gave him was sort of setting it up for him to be some sort of antagonist to the pair, which would have been excellent. However, I think that that might have just been a rug pull from Ken Grimwood. Either way, it didn't hurt the story in my opinion. I just felt like there could have been more. I absolutely love stories that tackle the big, the massive, and this one perfectly walks you into that idea because it starts off with one man and one life. And then it slowly builds up the more lives that he goes through, and the addition of Pamela. They live so many different lives. And it's crazy that this is actually quite a normal sized book. This idea could have easily filled in a whole series of books. Ken Grimwood keeps it at a perfect length, and I absolutely love going back to this one. I believe that no matter when I would have listened to this one at any point in my life, I would have loved it. It just so happens that I listened to it in 2025. This one was an absolute treat to read for the first time, and an absolute treat to go back to every time. And if I've convinced anybody to read this book based on this video, I want you to know that I am severely jealous. that you get to live this one for the first time. Let me know what your thoughts on this one was. Did you read it? Are you gonna read it based on this video? I would love to hear back about this one. Tell me how wrong I am. Tell me why you didn't like this book. Thank you so much for joining me whilst talking about one of my favorite books of all time. I really appreciate you. Goodbye.